Good morning. It's day 4, and today we are in Icy Strait Point. This morning, Adam and I are dragging. As much as we are excited about this port, we are both so tired. I think that, so I will say this, a lot of people on the ship, like in our WhatsApp group for the ship, have been saying how tired they are from, especially last night. People were like, I can't make it to the show. I'm too tired. I can't go to dinner. It's surprising how much Glacier Day is and the Glacier Explorer. Like, it was wonderful, but it's exhausting. And I don't know what it is exactly. I mean, there's a lot of running around in the morning to get all the pictures and things, and you're out and you're outside all day. So that might be part of it, because you really just want to see everything. You're out in the elements. It was raining a bit yesterday, and so trying to dodge the rain was its own challenge. And so there was a lot going on. But yeah, we're so tired. So like by the time we got up, got showered, got dressed, all of that, we completely missed breakfast. All of the breakfasts at even Cabanas, right? Closed at 9:30. We got there at like 9:35, not realizing how late it was. So he is looking to see if there's something at like the Daisy Delights and the other sort of, they're not food carts, but they're like food cart-esque places that are on the pool deck, to see if there's anything there that he might enjoy. I, however, am going to be enjoying a cat's donut. So because of my food allergies, they will often just bring me a box, right? Just so that I have the thing, rather than, ordering room service and them having to like check for all the allergies and stuff. They'll just like bring a box. And so they did that last cruise. They did that again this cruise, because this cruise I tried to order the powdered donuts knowing that they were good for me. They brought me a different kind of donut. I checked the ingredients, and I called them to check the ingredients, and they were a no-go. So, but they brought this one as a backup. So they're really good about food allergies, even though it may take a minute. So I got coffee from, there's a area on deck 9 that is right outside of Cabanas, but like outside, and they have machines and Coke and things like that. That's going to be your best bet for beverages when Cabanas close. Usually Cabanas is actually like, even though Cabanas closed for food, it's usually open for sitting, hanging out, that kind of thing, and the drinks machines will be working, so you can also do that. But because it had just closed, they were asking people to like not come in so that they could clean up, and they were sending people to the outside thing, which is understandable. They need to vacuum and all the things, so, and put the chairs up, and I don't know that they want you hanging out in Cabanas, but they do leave it open for that possibility. So once we get ourselves out here, we do have an 11:15 excursion to do Hoonah. It's the Hoonah sightseeing tour. And then we also have the whale watching today. Sounds like Adam's back. So we're gonna finish our breakfast, breakfast, donuts. Looks like he did find something. What'd you find?
A fish burger.
Oh, Adam got a fish burger. So we're going to have our donut and fish burger, and then head out into Hoonah.
Welcome to Icy Strait Point in Hoonah, Alaska. Today is a very cool day. We have a couple things scheduled for today. We're going to go do a cultural experience, Hoonah tribe, I believe.
Tlingit tribe.
And so we're going to go look at that a little bit later today. We just got off the ship. Today's overcast, but it's a little cool, so that's why we have on wear this keep us warm. But yeah, that's what we're doing right now.
The port of Icy Strait Point was a partnership between the Tlingit tribe of Alaska and several of the cruise lines. I know Celebrity was involved and several others. The Tlingit tribe, the clan that lives in this area, was finding that they were losing a lot of their community because they were moving away, because there weren't a lot of jobs here. And so the tribe partnered with the cruise lines to create this port that is basically a taste of Alaska. There's mountains, there's whale watching, there's sort of like all the best things you can do in Alaska are here in this beautiful, beautiful port. It is part of the city of Hoonah, which is the town that is where this particular clan lives. So all the businesses in Hoonah are tribal owned. All of the excursions and all of that, all tribal affiliated. And so when you spend money here, you know that you're actually supporting the people of Hoonah, which is wonderful, and it's fairly ingenious way of creating jobs and keeping community here while also taking advantage of this beautiful island and all that it has in store. So we are excited to be here. Right now we're waiting for the care carts, which is a mobility cart. It's not wheelchair accessible, but it is here for people who need help getting back and forth. And I'm one of those today because my back is killing me. So we're on the tram now, and it is, right now there's only me and one other person that I'm hiding with my head. And the tram can't take the wheelchair, as I mentioned. And so Adam in his power chair will meet us over there. There's folks coming to the tram, and then it's 2 people per seat, and then we'll get off.
As I am heading up, getting up the little dock is a little steep. Just be aware. Alrighty guys, here we are.
Thank you.
So you have like different stations you need to go to once you were here. So we gotta hit the station 4.
So we've arrived at the Adventure Center. The care cart, or the golf cart thing, it drops you off right in front. And then you come right in here to this gorgeous building. It's very wood forward and feels like a den, like a log cabin kind of thing. So come in here, and there's a bunch of TVs around the room. You find the one that's showing your excursion and come up, and then there will be a person here. They gave us these red wristbands that say Sky Peak Gondola. There are 2 gondolas here on Icy Strait Point. The first one is free, and it takes you to the other side. That's the green gondola. So then the red gondola is the one that goes up the mountain. That one it does have a cost to it. However, if you book one of the excursions at Icy Strait Point, it comes with access to the gondola all day. So, if you weren't us and exhausted, you could come here well before your excursion, and come on 7:15 when the boat docks. Come get your wristband because they know you're doing an excursion later in the day, and go up there. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, some people did that, and it was beautiful. We're probably going to try to do the Sky Gondola in between our 2 excursions, since I don't think there's enough time really to go enjoy it and get back here. So hopefully we'll have time after the excursion to go enjoy that. It says tour time 11:30. In the app it said 11:15, so I'm guessing there's they're giving you time to get here, which didn't happen yesterday. So that's fine, but this is gorgeous. There's a little gift shop in here, and then there's also another gift shop somewhere else in the cannery. We haven't gotten to that yet. So definitely lots of things to see and do around here, and so far it seems like a pretty easy port, and it's very green. It's very pretty here. On Hoonah, you aren't allowed to bring any disposable drink things from the ship. So the plastic water bottles, no coffee cups, but you can bring a reusable water bottle, which is highly recommended. And I do have mine. Oh, and there's coffee. There's a little coffee stand right there. No, I haven't been to it yet, but that's what I'm doing when I hit stop recording. This is our bus with the wheelchair lift. I love seeing repurposed school buses. I don't know. My mom used to drive a school bus. I think that's why. So, pro tip, all terrain.
If you go this way, not that, I'm getting no power.
Uh-oh. It started working as soon as the man showed up.
When you were a kid and you call your dad and say my car won't start, and he comes out and it's the important thing is it's working, and that's what matters.
That's awesome.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
This is our,
Yeah,
this
right?
is our lead mechanic, and he keeps us running.
Oh no, that's the lead.
Okay, these are our wonderful mechanics, and they keep us running.
Many thanks, wonderful mechanics.
I got time to test that out.
That's a sweet little chair.
We like it.
So yeah, use it.
Uh-oh, are you a little stuck?
We got some ATV tires.
Oh, there, he got it, he got it.
Needs a four-wheeler, man.
Don't go back into it.
Oh no, he's got it.
Okay,
There you go.
this is testing this chair, for sure. Will, Hoonah approved.
He's gonna have a package.
Oh no.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good. Is there a good spot to pull on this thing?
That bar in the back. No, on the floor, on the ground. The one on the
Oh, that
yes,
one.
that one. Yes, that can lift the whole chair. Awesome.
Oh, wow, it makes it light too.
Yeah. Yes.
You want a little bit more? Or we're going forward now?
Wait, what's happening?
Oh, he got it.
All right.
Well, you have to do product reviews. Needs off-road tires for Alaska.
Yeah.
Rained all day yesterday.
Yeah, we had
Yes.
some downpours. They had to bail out everybody's boats at the harbor.
Oh wow.
That was raining.
Oh wow. Is it not able to do the sideways thing? Is that the problem? Oh, so you're like, okay.
Oh, what's it got, like a middle wheel or something?
It's those front. It's the Omni wheel tires in the front.
That can't be a cheap one. That's gonna be a lot of money.
Well, it's not as expensive as like the medical wheelchairs.
Yeah.
Like, so this was like 4,000, which, yeah. And the fact that we can use it on trips like this is amazing.
Go ahead and go
Yep,
in.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you.
You had to be at least a quarter native, going before during 1971 to acquire a position
Just go forward.
in our
Find a place you
native
like.
corporations. So you're not allowed to know $2.4 million after that $7 million that only paid it to the native people.
This tour was led by a member of the Tlingit tribe who was a storyteller. Throughout the trip, she blessed us with stories about her people and pointed out all kinds of significant locations throughout the city.
In the smaller communities, we have clinics with PAs and health aides. We have hospitals in Juneau, Sitka, and Anchorage. When you have your children, you have to go away 2 weeks to a month prior to delivery. They do have housing. The first name for this body of water was Sky, which means Brown Bear Bay. The second name was Port Frederick. So Port Frederick and Icy Straits, they are all naturally 540 feet deep. You see that turquoise machine? That is how they take the boats out of the water. Just to give you an idea of the largest vessel this is capable of taking out of the water, any of you watch The Deadliest Catch? They come to our dry dock. And here is downtown Hoonah, the first phase of the housing. Here is the local city dock. From the 70s to the 90s, you would see anywhere from 50 to 100 boats anchored right out here. The two main industries is fishing and tourism. I'm the very proud daughter of a veteran as well. My father was in the Vietnam War. 29 men from Hoonah, they got drafted into that Vietnam War. They're here. They got drafted into a war to fight for a country, that was trying to wipe us out with boarding schools. If you do not know what a boarding school is, it came with assimilation. They wanted to, the churches that came, they wanted to assimilate the children into their way of life at a much faster rate. So they took them, not because of bad parents, but because of assimilation. My mother was 6 years old when she was taken to a boarding school in Skagway. My uncle was 5. After being in that school for 4 months, my grandfather went and stole his grandchildren back. Many families hid in icy straits or high up into the mountains so they could still teach their children in secret and to keep their children from being taken. 2 of my grandfathers, the Lakutari in Juneau, they were 10 and 11. They were taken much farther because they were older. They were taken to Chamala Institute in Oregon. By the time you're 10 or 11, during that time period, you've already learned how to track your way on the water and the land. You've already learned how to navigate your way with the stars. So after being in that school for 4 months, they escaped and they made their way back in 2 months. Now, this happened all over the United States. Canada, Australia, all these different countries. All of these residential boarding schools, not one of them had a playground. Not one of them had a playground. But they all unmarked graveyards.
After the bus tour, we made our way to the cultural center
Awesome.
for a dance and storytelling show. The seating was accessible because they put us right up front there. Everyone else had to climb up the benches. And because we were so close up front, I really didn't feel comfortable filming, so I didn't. Next up were the gondolas, which actually had a dedicated wheelchair line. Unlike the ones at Disney World, the seat actually folded up, which gave Adam a lot more room to move around and be able to see different views.
We're on the Skyliner now, heading to Epcot. So, even though we're surrounded by trees and cold, there's snow on the ground. Ever seen snow in Epcot? I haven't.
Epcot added an Alaska pavilion, and it's very realistic.
Yes, they have. Okay, so we are headed up to the top of the mountain at Icy Strait Point. Yeah, it's cool.
So right now we're on the green Skyliner, which is the free one. It's not called a Skyliner. We're going with Skyliner.
Yeah,
we're on
Skyliner.
the green one, gondolas
Gondolas.
that go across the town. But I'm gonna turn this around.
Wow, check out the obstacle course, it looks like.
Yeah.
There are 4 people.
Bears.
There are 4 bears per person here in Hoonah. So just be aware of that. Okay. Another wheelchair one.
Oh, so certain ones are wheelchair accessible?
I don't know. I thought I guess because I wanted to flip up the seat. That's why I make this one accessible.
Okay.
We can look when we get out to see.
So was there a wheelchair symbol on this one somewhere?
I didn't see a wheelchair symbol on this one, so.
Huh.
But that one outside had a wheelchair symbol on the outside of it, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks. So now we are on the red gondola, headed up the mountain.
Oh my God, you can switch.
And when I say up the mountain,
It's up the mountain.
I mean up the mountain.
Wow,
Like I don't
it's-
know if you can really
Appreciate or
that
see
from
the
the
footage.
zoom.
Yeah, that looks steep. Steep.
Yeah, like up the mountain.
Side of the mountain is wild. Hopefully, if you're not afraid of heights, this is a something to really look at it, dude. Wow. Wow. So hopefully, if you get a chance to come to Icy Strait Point, and this is like, yeah, when look switch the camera to the look up the mountain, it's like, geez, that thing is steep. Like, how did they obviously they built it to be able to handle that, but just looking at it, us going up it, they have what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these pylons holding up the cables and the skyliners. It's like we're getting higher and higher in terms of tree wise.
Yeah,
Some
we're
of
going
these
above
trees,
the tree levels.
yes,
We're going to go be above the tree levels.
some of these trees are very, very tall. And they're like thin and tall. It's not like they're like wide
Yeah.
trees. These are like narrow and tall.
Yeah. Now, when we were getting on, there was a sign that said exchange your wristbands for tickets. Apparently, that did not mean these red. Can you show the wristband? Yeah, so apparently those are fine. You can just get right on. And honestly, I don't even think anybody looked at our wristband. They just were like,
check out the view behind it. Or we'll get it when we come back down.
Boy.
We gotta get it when we come back down.
It's gorgeous.
I'm not afraid of heights, but I'm not afraid of heights, but it's also making a little. Ooh, it's high though.
So there's like, I mean, some of this was cleared for this gondola, certainly. Woo, okay, my ears are popping. But other trees are just sort of laying there, so I wonder what that's about. Oh my.
Yeah, wow, it's
Okay,
rocking.
why is that happening? I'm sure it's like somebody in a wheelchair getting on, but like, oh my god, this is so
cool.
way worse than like an Epcot when this happens, right?
Your sister would not be able to handle this.
No, not at all. She would be so done.
She'd be like, give me off, give me off.
Oh,
All right, there we go, we're starting to move again.
okay. Oh boy, this is.
Jeez, these trees, this is like a very good, like look at those tree coverage. You can't see the ground.
Nope.
The trees are so packed together,
Yeah.
it's like you can't see.
Yeah, this is pretty intense. That's our view, which is also pretty intense. There's the cruise ships back there. They are but ants. So this is the top. Coming into the station. There are plenty of path trails up here if you're so inclined. We're gonna ask them if we just go right back down because we're short on time to get to go get the exchange wheelchairs and get to our whale watching excursion. Now we're gonna be looking down. Yikes. So how was that, Adam?
That was fun. It was very fun. We're going a roundabout because we gotta head back down. Hopefully we're gonna get some shots as we head that direction, going down the mountain.
Yes.
It's a lot.
And probably some scared noises as well.
Alrighty. Looks like a little toy boat we have at home.
I know. It's Rowan's boat.
But yeah, it's
Like this is
wow.
beautiful.
This thing is steep mountains. It's like on the side.
Now we are coming back into port, and we will head over to take the other Sky Gondola over to the Adventure Center, and then from there we will go back to the ship, switch out wheelchairs, and head on to the whale watching. You want us over here?
Hopefully you'll be able to hear us. It's pretty loud. So we're near the back of the boat near the engines, so maybe we'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe just wait.
Okay, yeah, we should probably wait.
And now we are on the whale watching excursion. It is wheelchair accessible and
With an asterisk.
with an asterisk, which we'll explain later. But Adam was able to stay in his chair, and so we are excited to try this out now.
Yes.
So we just got back from a lovely whale watching cruise. It got very rainy towards the end, and so we were kind of soaked. And so now I am going to the spa while Adam goes to distribute our next set of fish extenders and also take a little rest because it was a lot. Well, I feel very relaxed after my massage, but also check out this view. Like, is it not the most Alaska thing you've ever seen? Like the fog and the 2 layers of trees and the mountains and yeah. So even when it's foggy, it's pretty, which is awesome. I ended up having a 50-minute back massage because I told her my back was hurting, and she was like, well, we can focus on that. And then ended up spending the entire time on it. And honestly, I think my posture's better. My back is still a little bit sore, but not like it was. Not at all like it was. Tonight we're in Tiana's, which I'm really excited about because I loved Rapunzel on the Disney Magic, and this is Tiana. So yeah, I'm very excited about this.
Icy Strait Point was fun.
I feel like we need to fess up about the fact that it's no longer the Icy Strait Point day.
Okay.
Hello there.
As you may have noticed, we have different clothes on from the day we recorded Icy Strait Point.
And that is because it's 4 days later. So after Icy Strait Point, I started coming down with some sort of cold situation, and I was just exhausted and could not film and so we didn't do I did go to dinner that night, but it went downhill from there. So for this video and the next two, you're going to see the wrap-ups looking like this. We are still on the ship. This is day 7. We are about to leave tomorrow. And so we're recording this while it's still fresh in our heads, but unfortunately it's not the day of. So when we last left you, we were heading to dinner. We had dinner at Tiana's. Tiana's is a lot of fun. It's different than Rapunzel's, because Rapunzel's being Adam rarely sings. This is like a special treat here. Like on the Magic, Rapunzel is like an entertainment dinner. This is the same, right? This is like live dinner and a show. And so you've got live jazz music. It is Disney-fied jazz music, to be clear, but it's still jazz music nonetheless. And you are in the sawmill. So you are transported to Louisiana, and you are in Tiana's restaurant, Tiana's place that she opened after purchasing the sawmill. And you get visits from Tiana and Lewis, and he is playing his trumpet, yes. And it's very festive. And like I said, I was starting to get sick, so I didn't quite, but it was festive. The food is good. It is sort of Americanized Louisiana food. So it's not spicy, but it is seasoned well. It's more seasoned than you might find at some of the other Disney establishments, but it's not, it's not like Louisiana. But it was good. It was good. And so we enjoyed our dinner. But I want to talk a little bit about Icy Strait Point. Having now done the whole cruise, I can say with confidence that that was my favorite port. But it was also our most active port.
Yeah.
So we did basically 3 excursions, because we did well, 4 really, because we did the sightseeing tour, we did the tribal dance and storytelling.
Yes.
We did the gondolas up to the mountain, which is actually 2 gondolas. So you have one that's basically like, you might as well call it the Skyliner. It goes from one side to the other. And then you get off of that one. And then the red one there's a fee associated with the red one. However, if you buy one of the official excursions, you get access to the red line included. And that's also true of the tribal dance piece. So we did that up the mountain. I mean, it was beautiful. It was a little scary, but it was, it's
to see.
Yeah, like
it's something to see, because go ahead and buy one of those excursions, then get the free ride up there, because hopefully you're not afraid of heights. If you are afraid of heights,
this might not be for you.
This might not be for you, because as you watch the Skyliner go up the mountain, it's like, that doesn't look that bad. But when you're in that little camp car swinging in the wind, get stopped a couple of times, and it's like, the ships, you're so far from the ships look like that big.
They look like toys.
They're like toys. And I'm like, yeah, that is fun. And so it was a good experience riding up there.
That's awesome.
Unfortunately, we were pressed for time, so we didn't really get off the Skyliner and go back down.
Yeah, no, we just went for the ride and then came back down.
Come back down was even better, because this time I was facing down and you could see. Otherwise, you're facing up. It's a great experience, a great thing. If you have time, if you have not afraid of heights, ride the Skyliner.
Yeah.
I think if you're Skyliner on purpose, I know it's a gondola, but it's a gondola.
I think that if you are mildly afraid of heights but still want to do it, just be mindful of where you sit, right? Face the mountain, right? Because if you're facing the mountain, then you have to like turn your head to see the ocean and things like that. Yeah. And so you can like measure your dose, you know what I mean? You can like decide how much you want to look and see, and how much you want to be like, nope, I just see a tree. So if you face the mountain, it might not be so bad, but it was gorgeous. So we did that. So that's number 3. And then we did the whale watching cruise, which was fantastic. What was your favorite thing of the day?
I think the whale watching was fun. The excursion itself, I believe they said it is accessible, but no power chairs or collapsible equipment.
No, they said no. Your wheelchairs are allowed, but they must be manual and collapsible.
Okay, manual collapsible. And so while we were heading back, I sped on ahead to the loading area, and I asked the lady, I said, hey, can we use my wheel C2? She's like, yeah, we could. Let me ask you, we could do that. And so we said, all right, cool. The sun is out. It's not really raining, so it's fine. I said, let me run to the room. I forgot. Why did I come to the room?
I don't know, but I don't know why these folks need to know that anyway.
I ran to the room for some reason. I had to come back. And so I came back. We loaded on. And they said, come on, let's go, Adam. Come on, go on. So
they wanted to load him first. They wanted to load him first. And they also had him get off first. Now, I need to say that the fact that he was able to use his will on this chair, on the boat, your miles may vary quite a bit, and I would not be surprised if he's the first and last person allowed to do that. Because, I did not get this on film, but
let's finish
you were talking about the wheelchair.
Okay.
So as we are getting off of the boat, so it had started to rain a lot. And and there is like, you know, that
Texture,
black
metal.
textured like sticker stuff that they put on like a metal ramp, right? And so it had that, but it was no match for the weight of Adam's chair, and it's a pretty steep incline, and his chair,
like ski jumpers, they go down the hill real fast. Like they go down real fast, and they whoop. It was almost like that. I was going down.
It was. I mean, you know, it was. I'm sure it felt faster than it actually was, but it was too fast, right? It was faster than the chair goes, and so that was scary. So he, you know, he had the forethought to like there were these holes along the way, and so he like put his arm out so that he would like to stop himself. But I mean, he could have hurt himself, right? Like that wasn't the best.
No.
And so, and you know, because we had been debating like, should you go down backwards? And thank goodness he didn't go down backwards, because that would have been worse. So like in retrospect, not sure that was the safest choice, if I'm being honest. Probably a manual wheelchair would probably be better. So this is Editing Brooke, and I want to change my answer. Honestly, I think the only way to have done this safely would have been to have someone help me, because even if he was in a manual chair and going downhill, I don't think I would have had the strength to hold him and go down while the ground was wet, and probably would have taken both of us out. So the moral of the story, powered or not, if you don't think that you can handle the ramp, ask the gentleman for help. I am sure that they would be happy to have helped us down that ramp, because yeah, it was steep, it was wet, it was a mess. Because you don't know when it's going to start raining, right? Like it wasn't raining and then it was. So yeah, I feel like he might be the first and last person allowed to do that. Because everybody here was like very stoked by his chair, right? Because the wheel is so different. And you know, right now you see them in Disney World all the time, because I mean, I still maintain it's probably the best chair for Disney World. But here, they don't have as, and so people weren't used to it. It did a really good job in a lot of the activities, right? Yeah. And granted, it did a great job getting on the boat and getting around the boat. Like, I mean, you know, so, you know, props to the chair, like it did its job. It was just that combination of that steep ramp and the rain. Like we probably should have had people in front of him, like stopping, right, like helping him come down. That probably would have been the, you know, the safer thing to do. And you know, now we know that, because we were unsure what was going to happen. Now we know. But otherwise, you know, we had muddy spots that we were in, and he got stuck in the mud like in this one area where it had rained a whole lot the day before. And it was all like mud and gravel. And
this doesn't do well in gravel and stuff like that.
Well, it actually did really well on the more graveled areas, right? Like there were some paved areas, there were some very gravelly areas, and then there was like mud and gravel. So it did everything except mud and gravel. And even mud and gravel, like it just got stuck like twice, and you know, had to help. Otherwise, I mean, it did a whole lot of off-roading. It was dirtier than I've seen it in a while in terms of like the wheels and stuff. So the chair did pretty well on the things, and everything else we did was fully wheelchair accessible. The only one that had the asterisk was the boat thing, and they let him let him use his power. We did bring a transfer chair that we were planning to use had they said no, but we figured like, why not ask, right? Yeah. You know, just keep that in mind. But they do always allow a manual collapsible chair. The
ride itself, the excursion itself was...
Which one?
The whales.
Okay.
The whale watching was fun. It took us about 40 minutes to get out there. Mm-hmm. And if you've ever rode on an excursion, like an outside excursion like that, they drive, we hear the motor running. I have footage of that in the back of the boat and all that. But then if you like look out the window and you see like a water spout, the captain like pumps the brakes, and it's like boat slows down and does like a U-turn and comes back around, because the whales go down for about 2 to 5 minutes and they come back up. So when they do stop, just keep your eyes peeled in the area, because you'll see like the water spout come out, then you see the thing hump come up, then the tail come out, goes back in the water.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was fun. We saw some sea otters. We also saw a couple of Did you say some birds? I forgot what birds you said.
Oh, I mean, we saw eagles. We saw all kinds of birds.
Yeah,
We saw
it was
sea
pretty fun.
lions. We saw we saw a bunch of things. We saw a couple whales. Didn't see orcas this time, but we did see a whale breach, like fully breach. We didn't get that on camera because I'm not good at filming whales, but it was very enjoyable.
Yes.
And now the boat, on the boat there are 2 sections that have like seats that face each other, like 2 and 2 that flip up, and those are the wheelchair spots. And so you could have 2 wheelchairs, one on either side, and we could comfortably have the wheelchair there and one of the benches down, right? So you could have like comfortably 3 people or 2 people with the wheelchair, so
Right,
3 total,
yes.
right, in that area. And then of course you could grab another booth if you needed to, and there's 2 of those, so you could have 2 people, and so since Adam was the only wheelchair user on there, we just kept going back and forth between the 2 if we wanted to see other sides. The boat was not accessible to the point that Adam could go outside. He did another whale watching excursion in Boston, and that one he was able to actually go outside. This one did not have that capacity. So, but the boat captain was very good at making sure that like he was paying attention to where Adam was specifically, and going to that side to make sure that side got to see whatever it was that we were looking at. So I appreciated that. And it wasn't terribly crowded. There's no like they don't sell food on that or anything like that the way that the Glacier one does. It's just a boat. But it was pretty good. The Hoonah sightseeing was very good. I really appreciated the way that she was telling stories. It was a woman from the Tlingit tribe who was
I think her name was Mimi.
Mimi, yes, thank you. Her name was Mimi, and she was fantastic. She was telling stories. Only downside I would say is that she repeated a lot of the stories from the bus ride and the tribal dance storytelling thing. So you could skip one. Like if you wanted to go explore other things, you could. You don't have to stay for the tribal dance. I might not have after that because it wasn't so much a tribal. Like it was one person. I mean, she did a dance, and she had a drum and all that. But if there were other things that you really wanted to do, I think you could skip that part if you already went on the tour, because she actually went into, there was a couple of stories different, but a lot of it was very similar.
Right.
There was more personal stories on the bus.
Yeah.
She had a couple of other people's stories in the show, so there was a little bit of differences, but a lot of it repeated. She talked a lot about the way that her tribe had and her clan had dealt with different changes over time with the government and with everything from the boarding schools, which were horrific. If you have never heard of Indian boarding schools, I encourage you to Google it. Both of her parents had been kidnapped and taken to these Indian boarding schools, and so she talked about that and the impact that had on her community and how they lost their language, and now they're working to she's actually learning her language along with her grandchildren now because they teach it at the school, and so it's a lot of recovery work that they're doing to and that's what Icy Strait Point is. So Icy Strait Point was a partnership between the Tlingit tribe and several of the cruise lines to build a cruise port, because the Tlingit tribe was, particularly in that area of Alaska near the Hoonah village, they were losing population because there were no jobs, right? And people need to eat, people need jobs.
Right.
And so, but as you're losing, your community, you literally are losing your community. And so they came up with this plan to create this port that would so it caters to cruisers. Like they want cruisers to come. It's not like a situation where you're like, oh, do they want us there? No, they want you here. Yeah. And they have created this, I keep calling it Taste of Alaska, even though that's not how they sell it. But they have active things like a giant sky zip liner that Ooh, that's
was,
a big, like, if you want,
I think it's the largest zip line in America.
it
or
might
the
be
world.
like it was.
This
I
thing
mean,
was
it's huge,
huge.
and it comes off the same mountain that we went
You hear it
took the
coming, too. It's
gondola
like,
out. Like
ooh,
it's,
that, like a
you
high
know,
pitch.
and there's
Yeah.
like 6 lines, so like you can have a bunch of people going together and stuff, and then so they have like ropes courses and stuff. So if you're really wanting like an active, like I want to explore nature with my bare hands and I want to get dirty, they have that for you.
But watch out for the bears.
That because there are 4 bears per person that live there, so we got bears.
Deer, we saw wild deer.
Yeah, we
too.
saw deer. They were really
That was
cute,
good.
and we didn't see bears, but we saw deer. And they have they have the cultural pieces, like I said. They've got the gondola. They've got the whale watching. Some of the best whale watching in Alaska is there. So it's definitely one of the places to be. So like, don't sleep on this spot. When I first was reading about it, like before I knew anything, I was like, oh, this sounds like a throwaway port, like the Nassau of Alaska. No. It is fantastic.
If you want to get the cultural experience and view, this is to do it. This is a place to come and see.
Yeah, and these are folks who like love the land, right? And so they have such respect for the land, and they are really taking care of it, and they are and this is like their home, and so they want you to understand sort of where you are, and it is a mixed village, right? So there are Caucasians and others, people from Texas and things of this nature, right?
Why would
Who
you
come
go from Texas to Alaska?
Because people have like fell in love with it, right?
Yeah.
And so there are people there that are working there, but all the businesses are tribal owned and owned by so basically they have like it's not a corporation, but basically like you have a share in this as part of the community, and so it's benefiting the whole community. So when you're spending there, that you're like supporting the local community completely, not just like random going into a shop and they say things are local owned. You know what I mean? Like, this is for real. So go there, spend your money. It's good stuff. Really enjoyed that. So it was my favorite. It definitely was my favorite part. It was the most exhausting port because we did so much. I don't think we've ever done that much. I mean, that was like 4 different events that we did in one day, but it was fantastic. And so I would definitely encourage looking for sailings that have this port. I think that you won't be sorry. It's fantastic. So that is it for our day in Icy Strait Point. And until next time,
Stay strong,
get creative,
and keep exploring.
We'll see you in the next video.